Three things I learned after seeking God. Hi, my name is Lauren Shazarian and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the three things I learned after seeking God. I've really been into Christianity and seeking after the Lord for about 8-ish months, I'd say. And over this time, I've learned lessons. I feel like for the most part, you've learned lessons if you were seeking out something or seeking knowledge for somebody or what have you, but mine is coming from the Lord and the lessons that I've learned. So I'm just gonna give you guys three staples that I feel like everybody should know. Number one is faith over fear. I actually want to get this one tatted on my wrist, like right over here. But this really, I was going through a lot mentally, and I was scared of what the future held. But because I had faith and because I was talking to God and praying, I found hope. I found hope in what I was doing, and I knew that He had a plan for me. And so I just needed to have faith in the plan. I needed to have faith in His promise. And in Psalms 34:4, it says, "I sought the Lord and He answered me. He delivered me from all my fears." So if you seek out after the Lord and you have faith in the Lord, He is going to take away your fears, and faith replaces your fears. That's why I'm saying I want faith over fear tatted on me, because at the end of the day, I need to realize that I need to just have faith and trust in the Lord, what all life has to offer. Secondly, embrace suffering. I just read Romans 5:3-4 last night, and I knew that this verse spoke out to me. It says, "Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance character, and character hope." So suffering produces perseverance. When we go through things, it allows us to build this perseverance and allows us to just get after it. And going through hardships is a way for us to understand the hardship. I know that doesn't make sense really, but it means that in order to get to point B, sometimes we have to go through rough times in our lives. And it doesn't mean that you're gonna have a bad season just because you go through suffering, or that you're gonna have a bad life just because you go through suffering. Suffering is needed to understand greatness. Suffering is needed in order to compare. Think of suffering as a measure of comparison. If you never go through suffering and you just always live life on a high, you'll never understand the low, and is it really a high? My point is that suffering produces perseverance character, because if you never persevere through anything, you're never gonna build up that character, build up how strong you are. Perseverance makes you stronger. Suffering makes you stronger, because you're going through things and you're like, hey, I need to get through it. I've God by my side. I'm gonna get through this. And character hope, because at the end of the day, if you have hope for a better future, I go through things, you go through things. And because we go through things, we need some way to understand that this is not the end, that there's more for life to offer, that we're going to get through this. And suffering is all about hope at the end of the day. That's what it is. Perseverance. And perseverance character, and character hope. So we need hope. Yeah. Third, God will give you hope in a future. God has a plan for you. In Jeremiah 29:11, it states, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in a future." Sometimes we just look at this single Jeremiah 29:11, that is our golden rule for some people about God giving us hope, but you need to understand the beginning, or the before of when this was stated, and the after, because the Lord is saying that people were going into exile. God's children were acting like God's children, so he had to put them in exile. But they do have a promise, and although they're not the person that he wants them to be today, preparing them and putting them through exile is going to change their character. It's going to change their ways, and then they're going to be better prepared for what God actually has in store for them in their lives. So all this to say that you might be going through a season right now. God is preparing you for the heights that he knows you could reach, but maybe you're not there right now, and so he's making you take a step back, making you go through a rocky road. But at the end of the day, the Lord has a plan for you, and the Lord is trying to prosper you, not harm you, and he wants to give you hope and a better future. So in order for you sometimes to get to where you want to go, the Lord needs to prepare you, and he needs you to pray and seek after him. So then he gives you all that he has to offer you. God will give you hope in the future. He will keep your mind. He is all about your well-being. And this trouble that you're going through won't last always. Thank you.